Okay, so thank you for your patience, and we will now start our panel discussion on current global issues in hospitality and tourism. This session bridges together distinguished scholars from all around the world to discuss key challenges and emerging perspectives in the field. This session begins with the presentation by Professor Shinlan Leto from Purdue University, and she'll be connected via Zoom. Please welcome the Professor Shinlan Leto with a big round of applause.
It's good, Simran. I just need full screen, that's all.
All right. Now can you all see? We good?
Yes.
Sorry, I lost. I'm really not the smart tourism person here. And it's late night, so excuse me for being very And another epidemic I do not have to overemphasize is sort of the over digitalized living, over digitalized experiences, activities, relationships, you name it. Here's some of the statistics about over almost 7 hours. This is the average time adults 16 to 64 spent online each day worldwide. And that particular number goes up to about 9 hours per day for Generation Z. So, what does that all mean? That really means the future visitors would come to us, the future travelers, the future customers would come to us, bearing this characteristics. They will be more isolated, more sedentary. They will be more anxious and over digitalized and saturated. And they will suffer from gradual loss of analog skills and social skills. So, in this context, what I'm advocating is really, I think we really need to rethink the design of the activities, services, products, systems, business models, and communities. We really need to treat the tourism and hospitality field as a preventive care systems. We want it or not, name it or not, and well-being of the consumers, well-being of workers, well-being of communities really should be the premise of innovation. Now, why this matters, for my lens, I think hospitality and tourism is one of the last places, last frontiers, where humans still experience unstripped existence. This field is one of the last social infrastructures for humans to make meaning and make connections. And on the other side, we have been endowed with this wonderful technology, digital technology, AI technology, and wonderful opportunities to further advance our field. However, in that process, given the context of the need of consumers, I can see sometimes automation, for example, can go wrong. For instance, we all probably experienced this. Automation sometimes, in the name of automation, we are really shifting the burden to the consumers, offshoring work to the consumers. Just think about all the DEI, everything, and the self check-in and the chatbots and etc. A lot of tasks that used to be handled by the business now are being offshored to the travelers in the name of efficiency and cost saving. Um, and we also run the risk of experience thinning. Over optimization removes frictions, textures, local character, all the wonderful elements that we really that make travel and hospitality meaningful. And we also run the risk of destinations become very similar, sameness, systems become identical everywhere, etc. Now, so we are asked to discuss about challenges. So here are a few challenges that I see. And on the other side, of course, it's opportunities that we can capitalize on. The very first one, as I indicated before, I see hyper optimization fatigue. Technology is starting to overrun programs, over program the visitor journey. People crave, the reality is, people crave imperfections, openness, incompleteness, autonomy, serendipity, all the nice things that can be tied to travel and hospitality experience. In this context, this is from a recent paper that we finally published and proud to have it published with the Journal of Hospitality and Tourism Research. So thank you for that. In this context, emotional overload. The destinations, if we are not being careful, can increasingly mirror the stress of everyday life. In reality, then, what we need is slower spaces, fascination, refuge, something that hopefully is in contrast to everyday life stress. And designing in this context, I think designing for restoration, for freedom, it's of paramount importance. Not more digitalization, not digitalization escalation, not more surveillances, etc. Now, the next challenge and opportunity, again, ties to sort of the human conditions right now. Human health vulnerabilities are rising, and aging population, chronic sub-health conditions such as diabetes, such as high blood pressure, heart conditions, etc., and mental health challenges, as I provided some of the statistics, are major challenges facing more than our generation, but the younger generation as well. The destinations in this context, now hospitality and tourism in general really should become health generative and shouldn't be just health neutral. And this is a little promotion for my journal. We actually currently are running a special issue on vulnerability-friendly systems design, and really would welcome submissions of cutting-edge thought pieces and empirical research. The next challenge that I see is the loss of meaning and loss of narratives. Things are getting sometimes too standardized for the sake of efficiency. And in that process, really a lot of variances, a lot of differences and diversity, etc. Somehow in that process can run the risk of getting standardized and getting rid of the various essence that consumers would really love to have sometimes can be sacrificed in the name of efficiency and cost saving. But visitors really long for relatability, long for belonging. And they wanted to be able to, when they travel, they wanted to be able to relate, not only just to the place and people that they visit with, but also relate back to themselves as being a human and being an individual, being an existence. Destination in this sense really need more like story-like qualities. Needs to have qualities that are open, plural, co-authored, and allow people to develop that healthy sense of connectivity and relatability. Now, from my lens, I really think technologies should avoid, to the best of our abilities, for instance, replacement of hospitality. I know we are talking about digital hospitality, etc. In my view, the very essence of hospitality has to be as human as possible. It runs the risk of flattened narratives into algorithms. Everything is based on algorithm. Every understanding, every planning, every system, and along those lines, I think we're going to lose a lot of diverse narratives that we would love to keep. And we also run the risk of overburden already overly digital loaded travelers. Now, sort of from my lens, HTM's real frontier is no more census, no more, it should be more humanity. Well-being really should be core premise for innovation, not just a byproduct or an outcome. Should be the foundation that foregrounds what we do. Relational aesthetics, as I mentioned, is really the missing link in a lot of design, and I think it needs to be brought to the forefront, very much so. And I wanted to very quickly provide a little bit perspective from a senior traveler's perspective. This is also another study that we recently published in the Journal of Travel Research, and we are very proud of the work, and we appreciate Journal of Research's generosity in terms of accepting ideas that might not be quite fit into a proper empirical-based research. So really, the aging body can reveal where systems fail. So the seniors, not only as a market, they should be one of the most important, if not the most important, market segment. And I feel in terms of scholarship as well as sort of a practice in terms of trying to leverage the power of this market is very much lacking. But on the other hand, aging bodies really does reveal what we don't do well. Cognitive load can be more punishing sometimes than physical load in many travel experiences. We try to make travelers work too hard sometimes. So in my view, design for seniors really is designed for everyone who is tired, stressed, distracted, and overwhelmed. And that essentially is everyone in today's market space. Now, we also identify sort of HTM's structural blind spots through a very extensive literature review of not only literature in our particular field, but in the entire field of work on seniors. We noted that passive framing of the traveler body is quite prevalent. Treat the traveler body as segmented pieces, not necessarily a holistic and active and complicated being. There's a lot of reactive, not generative innovation. Very narrow interpretation based on narrow models, adoption-only thinking is quite prevalent in the literature, as if we don't adopt, we are not being innovative. And there's really a lack of multi-scalar system-level insight. We sometimes forget that human well-being and human existence is a very complex, multi-layered phenomenon that a piecemeal, segmented approach or technology solution sometimes just doesn't do the work. So we really as I said, overlooked the layered complexity of human well-being. Now, a little bit final reflection is from my lens, I think HTM must remain a site of wonder, differences, and connection. Tourism's future is not about frictionness. It is about meaningfulness. It should be not perfect. It should be alive, evolving, and relational. And it should be smart enough to make all of us more human. And with that, I finished my thought sharing, and hopefully I didn't occupy all the floor and all the time allocated to our group. So.
Thank you. And now we will begin our panel session. So our moderator today is Professor Charmok Koo from Kyunghee University, and our panelists are Professor Febzi Okmuz from University of South Carolina, Professor Demetrio Boualis from Bournemouth University, and Professor Uli Gretschel from University of Southern California. And we do also have two keynote speakers, Professor Jiyoung Chung from Tsinghua University and Professor Kyungjeon Lee from Kyunghee University. And we also do have some online panelists, Professor Brian King from Texas A&M University.
Hello, Brian.
Hi there.
And Professor Xiang Robert Lee from Chinese University of Hong Kong.
Hello, Xiang. Hello.
And Professor Xiang Kubanulu from Versen University.
He's absent.
and Professor Nancy McGee from Virginia Polytechnic Institute and State University. Please welcome
morning,
our
everybody.
moderator
Hello,
and
Maggie.
panelists with a big round of applause. And Professor Ku, please begin with the panel session.
Okay, hello everyone. This is an honor to be a moderator. I'm a handyman. I'm actually Dr. Van Gogh, Dean of Master. He will be a moderator of this session, but I am at his disposal. Okay, I'm so glad to invite all well-known and prestigious professors and editors from all over the world. It is really astonishing and outstanding. I never seen before this such a great research and professor in one place, in a physical place and virtual place. This is the world we are living now, in and out, virtual, physical interaction. Isn't it, Uli? Yes, okay. So today I'm inviting the Dr. Sharon Leto for our the session. She presented human-ready destination in aging digital optimization. Wow, it's great, philosophical touch to all of us. By the way, 1 week ago, I rejected my paper from JDDMO. And I sent a rebuttal letter to the Shilin, and she definitely rejected.
Oh no.
Okay, it's a joking. Anyway, I inviting two more the keynote speaker for our session, Dr. Ji-Hong Jung from Tsinghua University and Kyungjun Lee from Kyunghee University. Actually, we are not this kind of format, but flexibility. I inviting him because we're gonna talk about more from outsider, external, view of discipline. So Kyungjun and Ji-Hong, they are presenting fantastically about the aging society and the core of technology in tourism. Okay, first of all, I'm going to ask Uli. So how do you feel about the smart tourism? 10 years ago, we are launching the keywords. And Shilan, she addressing the core of smart tourism and also adding her philosophy and view to the smart tourism. So what's your response to her?
All right. Well, thank you, Shinran, for a great presentation, and also thank you to our keynote speakers for really inspiring talks about technology and its role, and also aging and its role. And I think all three of them related very much to the challenge we have in smart tourism, where we put a lot of responsibility on consumers. And so I see a lot of that happening in general in the world, this notion of responsibilization, where we are expecting consumers to make good choices. And then we also expect companies to do good, right? To design well for these consumers. And we don't talk enough about governance. And I think this is where smart tourism comes in, because smart tourism ideally has that governance perspective, where at a destination level we think about how we can actually help decide what kinds of innovations we want and what kinds of designs are necessary, because all of these design ideas for aging, for example, are great, or for mental health, but companies are not going to do it unless there's money involved, right? And consumers are not going to choose them unless they're being encouraged to do so. So I think one of the big challenges we have is governance.
Okay. The following question to the Fauci, of course. You're the eminent professor of South Carolina. You moved to the South Carolina. Why? What is the motivation from UCF to South Carolina? It's a money or fame or what is that?
Smart tourism. Smart hospitality.
Okay, here's my question to you. I
Okay, but
Actually, she mentioned about the keyword replaced hospitality. Probably she so importantly stressed out the keyword replace hospitality. Do not replace humanness. You are the editor of the International Journal of Contemporary Hospitality Management. So probably the core concept of hospitality will be evolutionized from philosophical to the most modern, post the and 24th century service industry, and now in the era of AI replacing hospitality, staff, and service or whatever. So it's so rapidly changing from the core concept of hospitality to the robotic and AI. So what's your opinion about that?
two difficult questions. One is I had a great career at UCF, Rosen College of Hospitality Management, for 20 years, and there was no specific reason to leave. I still have wonderful friends, colleagues there, and Rosen is a wonderful college and one of the leading institutions, and I wish them all the best, and they will remain very successful. Number two, South Carolina approach with a great package for me and for my wife, with a lot of opportunities, and after a while, it's for academics. They say in the US every 10 years you need to move, and I was 10 years late moving after 20 years. But I'm really excited with all these opportunities. By the way, I'm the Director of Global Strategy and Engagement. If any universities all around the world would like to work with us on different projects, collaboration, partnerships, please approach me. Going back to your second easier question, we offer hospitality in our field, and hospitality will never be replaced. Maybe technology in the long term, robots, AI, will replace some of the things, but the ultimate goal is to offer memorable, positive experiences for our guests. And technology will help us maybe co-design. Technology will help us design new experiences, and there may be cases robots, AI, technology may replace human interactions. Yes, there will be many cases. 10 years ago when I traveled, I didn't like checking in electronically by myself. Now, I do it electronically with my phone, and I really enjoy it, okay? So on the other hand, there are a lot of opportunities in hospitality and tourism, products and services. We are trying to stay away from technology. There are restaurants, they're taking your phone away, your technology, you can interact. So we have to find ways that we will use technology to the end, to the highest limit, and then there will be opportunities like limited technology, and we can enjoy. I love rural tourism, mountains, but I still want my phone with me at that time to take photos. If I'm lost, I want to ask questions, and so forth. I don't think ever we can replace hospitality. Maybe hospitality will be supported, offered better with the help of technology and human interactions. That is my understanding, that is my prediction. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We are here as a physical station. Now we are really shifting to the virtual world. Dr. Brian King, you're son of a king in Scotland. and you just moved from Hong Kong to Texas. And you are before Hong Kong from Australia, before Australia from the Scotland. Why you keep moving around? That's my first question.
Well, maybe I'll respond. Great to be here. Thank you for the invitation, and sorry I can't be present in Macau. I'm going to follow Dr. Akumis's comment that we should change every 10 years. So I'm not so young, you know, only 4 continents. So it's not that fast, you know. I've moved around, but not every couple of years. So variety is a good thing, don't you think? And our industry is very global, so accumulating experiences in different settings, different cultures is wonderful. It's part of life's adventure. So hence the change.
So anyway, you actualize nomadism for your entire life. The second question, anyway, you're the head of the Department of Hospitality Management in Texas A&M. So everything is all set for re-establishing or revitalizing that department because of you there?
You just have to remember our very long name. It's the Arch H. Applin III, Class of 80, Department of Hospitality, Hotel Management and Tourism.
Okay, thank you.
That was a really smart person that chose that, don't you think?
Okay.
We have a very long name, so we're certainly on our way. Thank you, and we're happy to be enjoying really good growth of our student numbers, and our enrollments grew 30% this last year, and so Texas is growing, so it's a good place to be.
Okay, we have another colleague from Virginia. Oh, Virginia is the University of Virginia Tech. Actually, she originates from Huntington Marshall University. She was an alumni of my University of Marshall. Okay, Nancy, where are you now?
I am at my house. It's 10:45. So yeah, I'm in Blacksburg right the moment.
Blacksburg. Okay, we have another Blacksburg friend here.
Yeah, I think it's my boss.
His boss. Okay, you are editor of, chief editor of Journal of Travel Research, which is the most prestigious journal in our field. My question from the, people are over digitalized, and we are forgetting the real human, dimension of tourism. And the people look at the smartphone seamlessly and the connection to the world. So as talking about from Shinran's view of over digitalization versus humanness and loneliness and dementia sort of things. What do you think about that?
Well, thank you for including me with this group. It's certainly an honor to be on a panel with such great folks. And I was also truly inspired by the presentation. And I'm over here frantically writing notes because of some of the things that Shinran shared with us. And right now, something that's of interest of me in terms of my research is regenerative tourism. And it's a type of tourism that you may have heard about, and it's sort of looking at next gen beyond sustainability and going from net zero to net positive, and really, really centered around community driven leadership, indigenous knowledge, local knowledge. And what I keep writing down here is that there's such a great opportunity for overlap and for using regenerative tourism as a potential framework for this sort of thing, that you're not only doing things that are going to help those travelers that Shinran was referring to, but also the local community, which, as you may or may not know, that's kind of my gig. And so finding that overlap is really exciting to me. Also, some other research specific to that I'm doing with my PhD student, Dini Hajarama, who will be on the market in the coming year, and she's fantastic, just gonna throw that out there, is looking at regenerative agritourism. We chose that because of the agriculture having the regenerative foundation. So that's where a lot of regenerative work comes from. And so we were able to say, well, let's look at what these farmers are doing and how they're applying it to tourism. And we've talked to the farmers, the support folks, the other stakeholders, and we've talked to tourists. And tourists absolutely are reinforcing what Shinran was talking about. The last thing they want to do is be on their phone loading an app or working with some sort of digitalization while they're in that agritourism experience. They've worked really hard to get there to do just that thing, to connect with their kids, to connect with their family, their friends. And so it's valuable to have certain digitalization as you're preparing for your trip. And then after you come home and you say, I had that wonderful jam at that farm, I would really like to be able to order some and have it delivered home. Oh, here I can do it. I can use my phone and use digitalization for those things. But they very much want to be away from it, because one of the things we thought was, well, how can we develop an app that's going to help them and something that they might be interested in? And they pretty much said, thank you, no, we're really interested in connecting with nature and doing the things that regenerative tourism is all about.
Wow, it's a great, be a moderator is a little stress job. But asking her as she keep telling her story, I just take a relax. It's good. Thank you very much. I want to hear from the external view of smart tourism or toward our discipline. We have two keynote speakers today in the morning. One is Shilin, she talking about the aging society, and also coincidentally we inviting Dr. Zhang from Tsinghua University, one of the very prestigious school in China, and he also addressing about the aging society in tourism. So, Professor Zhang, okay, so and as far as I know, you are study engineering and design, and you do the job in the Samsung Electronics for 7 years designing department. And also you are somewhat experienced in the Korean government. So you have three components, one government, another is industry, another is academia. So can you say about each role of tourism for aging society, integrating technology together? It's just your opinion. It's okay. There's no right answer, wrong answer.
My life is tourism. So I'm here, different job and different places. And one of the reasons why I keep moving is people are quite interested about tourism, because life itself is a tour. That's what I think. So one time tourist. I cannot go back. So I have a lot of curious about what's going on here, what's going on there, what's the differences. So I'm happy to be a kind of a beginner in some area. So it's hard, but it makes me happy I feel like I'm growing. I'm free growing. So in my 60, over 60, I still want to try to something new, but not gonna be dangerous. I'm more slow down and trying to do something. And what I feel in the Smart Tourism Conference and yesterday and today is I feel more comfortable here. And people are quite warm, and because you're amazing in hospitality kind of things. And yeah, maybe it's good to apply my research and my experience into the reality. So thanks for inviting again, and I hope I can learn a lot more and have more connection in the future. Thank you.
Okay, here's a study on the aging society with technology. And I want to hear from Dr. Lee about, these days over optimization, hyper optimization. Shilin, she talking about hyper optimization in tourism and in business. Sometimes it's a very very necessary, and optimization is really is necessary for efficiency, effectiveness. It is true. But technology is no longer belonging to somebody's. It's technology is for everybody, and also tourism is applied for everybody. Everybody after making money and after work, we're gonna go, you know, traveling. So, a point of view about the technology in tourism, the role of technology in tourism, isn't it think it's too over, you know, optimization for selection items, and then we are losing our humanness from tourism aspect. What do you think?
It's very tough question, but I think really good optimization will satisfy people.
Yes.
So real good optimization reflecting all possible variables, then and all possible criteria, then it can generate some result to people feel serendipity.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I think I think serendipity was one of my research tema when I founded a startup in related to smart tourism. So at the time I wanted to give my customer feeling serendipity. So when we have really good optimization framework and paradigm, then I think the people will feel happiness from the kind of serendipity and the personalization.
Okay, here's another following question. If that is true, the AI or technology can help people to find the serendipity from the tourism context. Isn't it AI prison? Or too much personalization for my tourism itinerary?
Actually, we have not conquered the science of serendipity. Where comes the serendipity? What from? So it is not only from the personalization. I don't know the magic, the secret, but sometimes when we meet some people, then we feel serendipity and some kind of coincidence and perfect match, something like that. Inyon, like the movie in the past life. Yeah. So yeah, I think the next one of the big issue is the generating serendipity.
Okay. Actually, serendipity is a core concept of smart tourism. Using of technology, we are trying to find out our alternative place. Anyway, we have a long line here from Shang Roberto Ri from neighboring country, Hong Kong. And his following question, you just moved from States to Hong Kong. What is the major driving force for you to come back to China?
Well, this is certainly not not a scripted panel discussion. Well, I think that at the end of the day, for many of us who chose this career, curiosity is always one of the key motivations. And this curiosity could be intellectual curiosity for us, driving us to pursue research topics or teaching subjects. In some cases, it could also be the motivation for us to pursue new, different career directions.
Okay. So fundamentally, let's talk about the industrial side. You know, after pandemic era, and suddenly our discipline and industry and our department is somewhat, you know, shrinkinized, and the students not no longer, but rarely interest in hospitality and tourism department. You are both sides experience in States in Hong Kong, so we are now very difficult to find out the proper labors, and the labor, you know, shifting from humanness to the robotics. So in order to face the kind of a paradigm shift, how do we prepare for the kind of new trend using of robotics and AI and the humanness labor and labor shortages?
Well, I think this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? I wish I had the full answer. But I do agree with you that the field, the particular higher education in tourism hospitality, is facing major challenges. I very much echo what Xinran just mentioned. I think in essence, a key message that she is trying to send, which I think many of us agree, is that we need to reframe our message and broaden our view of tourism hospitality and what we can do and should do. So in other words, in the past, we have probably been a little bit too modest and too narrow in terms of how we define what tourism hospitality education is doing, what tourism hospitality industry is doing. But in the new age and facing all different challenges, actually tourism hospitality can offer way more than what we used to promise. So indeed, I'm very, very optimistic about the future of our field. I think that there are so many things that we can do to tackle some of the most fundamental and challenging issues the humanity is facing. And going back to your question regarding AI and technology, I think very briefly that this also requires, I think that Xinran mentions that in a way that's flawed, imperfect hospitality that we need to deliver, which we recently are actually working on a paper, conceptual paper on hospitality thinking, that we hope that there will be a new mindset and a new worldview that we can instill to not only our own students, but also a broader audience. And in that sense, technology is not our enemy. Technology-assisted hospitality can totally help us to change the paradigm and deliver much better experiences. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Shang Li, his point of view, technology is not our enemy. It's our system of tourism and business, right? And back to the Sheldon Leto, you are listening their voice of, your presentation. And the end of the presentation is not here, smart enough to make us more human. This phrase is so critical to our humans. So after listening their comment on your presentation, and what's your final, summarization for humanness and technology and future in the era of AI?
Thank you for the opportunity to provide further reflection. When I sent you the PowerPoint, I did not realize what I'm getting myself into. I really truly strongly believe in the value of our field. I echo Robert's sentiment. I have a very optimistic outlook for hospitality and tourism, precisely because I think our role for humanity is only going to increase. Just look at, as you said, hospitality and tourism is for everyone, because people tie themselves in front of a screen, in front of a computer, day and night for months. What are they looking for? End of the day, they're looking for interesting life experiences. They're looking for reconnection with the family, looking for reconnection with themselves, with nature, with others. And so the importance, in my view, writing an article on that, we really should reposition ourselves, see ourselves as a preventive care arm, and it's a form of healthcare. That point is pretty clear. I wanted to share with you guys a story, what motivated me to provide this talk today. I had a conversation with a very successful Google technologist, and he said, I am every day, I work so hard, and coming home, all I can do is slump myself in the couch and numbing my mind, looking at my phone for nothing. And he said, my only hope in life is when I work so hard and I feel so numb, enough. Then I say, enough is enough. I'm taking a 2-week vacation. And that's his only hope in life that can balance all the work and life stress. So as you can see, and he volunteered. He said, are you guys doing projects? I told him we are working with engineers, with technologists, etc., to really try to provide better experiences for visitors. And he said, do you have projects that I can help with? I can develop apps, I can help redesign systems, I can volunteer my time. That's just a story to share to illustrate the points that our field, to the best of our ability, we need to reposition ourselves, elevate the value of our field, and really show the much bigger social responsibility. I think the short-term challenges that we see, it's not going to, in 5 years, you probably don't see all the challenges. We are transforming ourselves, and the future is bright.
Okay, thank you very much for your the concluding remark. And actually, she joined this conference voluntarily. Okay, this session is a kind of a new format in a conference. We are inviting the Sheila from Indiana. You are staying in Indiana, right?
Yes.
Okay, Nancy Mackey from Blacksburg in Virginia, and Shang Li from Hong Kong, and Brian, King of the King from Texas, and also we have Fafchi and Zion and Uli. She's my sister, and my brother, Dago. This is a great moment to managing the special session in a physical level as well as a virtual level and beyond the time zone. Wow, it is fantastic. I'm so glad I'm inviting all of the professors from all over the world. Once again, look forward to see you again. Thank you very much.